Alright guys, we're back and today we're going to be covering FuboTv stock. Yesterday I did a little analysis on it and we saw a massive run up today, so I just want to give you a really quick update. It should only be about 4 to 5 minutes, so stay with me. If you have any questions, comment down below and I will answer any comments for the first 24 hours. I'm very bullish on the stock overall in the long term. And if you watch the previous videos over my long-term analysis, we're kind of doing what I expected. The company is going in the direction we expected. It's looking very bullish. If this is your first time to the channel, I live stream every single morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central. And if I'm not live on YouTube, then I'm also posting all my trades on Discord every single day. The links are down below. Let's get started. Fubo is a newer stock. We're going to start on the 1 hour time frame, then break it down to the 15 minutes so we can see where we're trading in the intraday. I have two levels marked. The top one was my overall target from yesterday, the $37 to $38, and even the $39 to $40 of that last weekly open. And we hit the $39 to $40 very, very quickly. And I did mention in the last video that I was going to enter if we drop below $29. This is the benefits of being in the Discord. I posted where I bought in, and actually you can see some of the guys' profits right here. Coming into the 15-minute chart, yesterday we were seeing some pretty decent movement. We saw a very big gap up, and then we were kind of trending sideways, trying to break the resistance at this level of 32.44, give or take up here. We kept getting denied, but we still looked very bullish just based on the reaction that we were getting, making higher lows consistently, as you can see, and kind of riding this trend up. Eventually we broke and then mounted, and this is always a very good buy signal. And by a break and mount, we're breaking above the resistance and then we're mounting and sitting on top of it and then pressing back forward. Anytime you see this type of pattern of a breaking and a mounting, this is one of the most bullish cases to buy the breakout, because really you're not buying the breakout at this point, you're buying the support because it's now flipped that resistance, and the risk is pretty low because you can exit the trade if it breaks back below that resistance. Today we started out again with a gap up, but now we're kind of flagging down. You know, we're getting some wicks, but I just want to kind of highlight this area. This is one of my favorite patterns overall to trade, and as you see, we are indeed flagging down. Typically, this does set up for very good buys for another breakout to the upside. I can't give you an exact target like I could yesterday on FuboTv because that 39 to 40 was a very, very heavy resistance. Now, I think we are going to break back above it. I don't know how long. I think the news on it, and it has a very good catalyst to keep on going. But as of right now, I don't really love it. I would love to see a retest of maybe this $32 range or even a $34 range for potential buys. I definitely don't want to hop in here. We had about 100 to 110% gains on the trade overall from yesterday, and it's still looking good. And based on previous levels, these are my two areas to watch. If we do get a breakout to the upside, and this is why I'm not really taking this trade right now, at least on the option side, the $42 range is going to be a pretty big resistance, but I think we could push past it. Now, this level of 44 to 45 is obviously where I would ultimately take profits if I'm getting into this, and what I would really like to see before I even decided to get into this would be a break up, down, and then a mount. And honestly, once we break out of this, we're probably going to get rejected on the first try, so don't be discouraged if you are inside of it. When we come down, we're going to break back up, and then a retest is where you'd want to buy. And if you're in it, I'd be very confident if you see a strong reaction from that support as well. So if you see a reaction of a bounce, if anything on that first try, a bounce right there, I'd be very confident in the stock overall. Now, the Nasdaq and the indexes are picking up. This is what I mentioned yesterday. If they could pick up, FuboTv could really run, which they kind of did bounce. We saw a really big dip in the beginning of the day, and then they bounced up pretty strong. So overall, yesterday was a very good day. Fubo is one of those stocks we really love, and it had a huge catalyst. And if you don't know, I will go over what they had going on here in a second. The other thing to look out for is the OBV. Now, the OBV is a pretty good indicator of volume and kind of massive buying. So it can actually help you find those really big wicks to see those massive moves up or the gaps up. I had this level mark from yesterday, and after we broke it, obviously we got a massive run up to the upside. Now, the only problem, and another thing I really don't like about this stock right now, and why I think there's a little bit of downside, is because the next OBV level I would like to see us tested is kind of a little ways away. Now, this can only take 1 to maybe 3 hours to hit, but I don't know, and it could take a little bit of time. I do love the stock. I think the catalyst has plenty of room to run. I think the indexes are looking very bullish as well, almost at 13K again. After such massive profits yesterday, I think this is just the way to go. Hop out of the chart, as you can see, as the indexes are pushing up, you can see Fubo wants to break out of this flag, but it is below the VWAP, so it has no real bullish momentum behind it right now. Now, the trend is overall bullish. The indicators and the supports are all kind of justifying that there's a little bit more downside. So that's just my take. If you watched the video yesterday on FuboTv, as you know, Vigatory is a company that they are trying to acquire. and modifying their sportsbook to apply it to their program. Now, if you don't know, FuboTv is actually a sports streaming network. That's kind of what they advertise themselves as, but they're a lot more than that. They have a lot of other networks and stuff like that, but that's really the focal point of their business, and that's where they think they're gonna get the majority of their revenue, by implementing sports streaming and having online gambling on the same platform. Now, it's a really cool and great idea. One thing we do know is this process will cost a lot of money, and it won't be instantaneous. That's why I'm not fully parabolic on FuboTV yet, because it's not implemented and it's not really close, and it could take to the end of the first quarter of this year, so potentially 2 to 3 months until this deal is actually finalized and closed. But once that happens, I see a very massive run incoming for Fubo. For the long-term investors, this is very good, very bullish for you. For the short term, it could be dangerous. So always watch out. Make sure you're not over leveraged. That's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. If you got something out of this, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Hit the thumbs up. I'm here every single day. Multiple videos just for you, the stocks that I'm trading. Have a good one, guys. Namaste.